1075 The Game Podcasting is sponsored by Modern Exterminating, a family-oriented company. Professional, honest, and dependable pest control solutions. We're your one-stop shop for all pests. We do it all. We know what bugs you. Visit us online at pestfreesc.com. That's pestfreesc.com.
I do feel like this is the evolution and the growth of a program. Not that I didn't like all the neat little videos and everything, but Preston, I feel like we're seeing kind of like a maturity of the program a little bit. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
I mean, yeah, that could be a theory for it. I don't know. It just feels like there's a sort of a black hole of information. We talked about this going back to the bowl game where there just was not a lot of information coming out of from over there. So things are happening, and I'm just going to take the stance of no news is good news. You haven't heard significant injuries. You haven't heard significant rifts or friction and things of that nature. So if they're going about it in a business-like, routine type of way, then I'm fine with that. No problem.
Now we've kind of put all of the college basketball to bed. So let me ask you this, because I remember telling you, I can't remember if I said it on air or off air. I was having a hard time getting into college basketball early on in the season. And then by about February, I'd kind of gotten into it. What was your take now on the big picture? South Carolina, we know what that was, but big picture on college basketball season.
For me, this year, obviously disappointed. I watched college basketball through the lens of my team, which is South Carolina. And so obviously this year it was disappointing. However, I did get a chance to see a lot of the SEC teams play, and being as though the hoopla around the SEC about being the best conference ever in the history of college basketball, I thought that was a pretty fun narrative to follow along, especially as they came to South Carolina. We played many of them tight, I will say, especially during that little stretch in January where we had those games that we lost, unfortunately. So the season to me was disappointing because I follow the team. I follow my team in college basketball. Spring
practice continues to roll on.
Yes, we hear from more coaches today. I believe we got Sean Elliott and Joe D today. I know we'll hear from Sean. We'll see if we get Joe D. I'm not sure if special teams can wiggle their way in there.
We gotta. It's kind of.
I guess they have to have a voice.
You've gotta. We don't hear from the special teams coach quite like we used to. Yeah. So you got to hear his voice to kind of maybe that way. If you're in a grocery store or something, and he's talking to the grocery, you're like, oh wait. I recognize that voice. I've heard you on the radio doing your press conference. We got to let people hear.